Hello, Infinite Magicraid community, YouTube. How's everyone doing? I thought since the equipment event is on right now, maybe it's a good time to do a guide on rum, and I'll see if I will be able to cover the other dungeons as well. So what you're seeing right now on the screen is rum stage 36. And recently I regressed my Donald to get O'Grady so I could farm higher stages of rum. At this point, I would say that pretty much O'Grady's is staple. I have seen other people finish this with Lydia E2 or E3 in their team. Yes, I think you can do it that way, but again, not everybody have access to Lydia, and I would say that O'Grady's does make your burn team a lot better because O'Grady's just whenever a team member detonates, they get a shield. It's a pretty sizable shield that you get from Wind Shelter. You get the turn speed up. Um, Furthermore, you're able to put a burn dot on the enemy pretty frequently with it. It amplifies your burn damage. It really helps with your DPS drastically. So we can see that we're clearing rum relatively consistently right now at stage 36. Haven't had a chance to clear at a higher level yet, but I mean, this is what kind of end game teams look like from a smart casting perspective. Really, um, I'm not really doing much other than, Santa, you start with a freeze and you ban it for the rest of the turn for the waves. So you do get a little bit of extra control and survivability in getting a few extra turns. The enemy, if you look at it, they do have a lot of HP. Each wave, we're talking about close to 8 million HP on the enemy. It's going to be really hard to clean nuke it with a single skill. So really, it's all about survivability at this point. For me, I'm just basically saving only the ultimate from Santa to do the freeze and pass it throughout each wave, and then making sure that Andreas has his big nuke for the last wave to be able to take out one of the ads quickly. Other than that, there's not much to it. So this is what higher stage 36 plus look like. After this wave, let's go over some, what do your teams potentially will look like at lower stages. And we'll talk about, how we can do this guide for, for for majority of you who are probably aiming for stage maybe 35, um, and maybe 30, 31 to 35, or if you're early on, if you're just aiming for stage 30. So I would say that, if you're aiming for stage 30 at this point, you can literally pretty much use any team that has a solid AoE. We're going to do this without um, Santa. We're going to do this mostly with a hero that we can probably, yes, I get, someone's probably going to say, oh, well, this guy's got, high sanctuary, he has a whole bunch of E5s. We can't do this, as a relatively newer player. But, let's put our standard formula together, let's try to go for 3 DPS, right? I think everybody's now going to be able to get a Hez, so we're going to try to do something standard like this. Um, maybe let's just try to clear it even with a setup like this. Why not? Um, okay, so if you think about, what you're trying to do every wave. So wave one, what we're going to do is, obviously, I think for all the waves, Hazanja, you want to block it out, right? Um, your, you want to be using, maybe we start out with a Dragon Flame, and then we just try to, oh, sorry, I'm not even, so wave two, we're going to take advantage of, all the AoEs from, so Catherine's gonna, maybe let's start with. Yeah, so let's do that. Hazanja is going to do that on first wave. Then no skills, and we're going to open up with a big AoE. Catherine, we're not going to use any skills. We're not going to use any skills. Skill 2, we're going to counterattack and kill everything with a counterattack. We're not going to wave 1, maybe, let's use a, let's save that for the last wave. And wave 3, we will use, we'll tank it, right? Um, and then, and let's make sure we don't, whoops, sorry. Yeah, let's open it up this way, sorry. We want to open the last wave, letting Nakashima or Naskarma ste make sure he can't steal the counter attack. Make sure that we can't get our holy shelter stolen. Wave 2. Heck, let's do it this way. Just make sure that holy shelter can be used for wave 2 so it won't be stolen, and then we holy shield up. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so we're gonna do stage 30 with just 3 heroes. All right, we're gonna play through it quickly and just show you kind of how this is the core of your hero, right? First, you kind of just get through the waves, not a big deal. Um, wave 2, the big idea around wave 2, the second wave is really you're gonna use the counterattack, and I think that was a little bit of a overkill there, but the counterattack combined with Hazanja, you're just gonna dot everything up and everything's gonna die. Okay, so see, that's why we kind of want to save the counterattack for the second turn, just so that, it'll be super annoying if Niskarma stole our counterattack. But for the most part, I think we're okay. I mean, at stage 30, the boss is not going to hit very hard. That's why I say, if you have, a Catherine and an Ordak, you're pretty much set for all pre-stage 30 content with Hazanja. So these are 3 heroes you're guaranteed to get any account, no luck required. So this is what you can work towards and, be able to, you know, grind out some solid gear. Okay, so after this, let's bring in a full team and do stage 35. Now, between stage, okay, so between stage, I'll say stage 31 to 35, for all the um, dormant dungeons, really, it's about being able to handle these dungeon effects. So here, you know, either using bleed or burn, right? So we know the solid setup, you really need your Andreas. So we're going to use Andreas and Jack is going to drastically reduce the damage here. This is something that all of you can kind of, well, gets a little bit harder, right? I mean, we do have a chance to get Santa and Jack, so, 35 might not be, attainable for everyone, but maybe try these as a core hero set and then get some burn heroes, or if you're very solid on bleed, you can try Nidroid as well. But the goal is to focus on survivability with your tank heroes, and then maybe we can even try to do this without Santa. Let's try to do this without too many limited heroes, but maybe stage 35 is a little bit of push. Let's try somewhere in the middle, 33. Okay, we're gonna try to do this without limited heroes. We're gonna bring the standard formula of, we're gonna attack down the boss. We're gonna use Jack, and we're gonna use Andreas. Sorry, where did my Andreas go? Okay, so let's try something like that. So let's do our preset. We're gonna we're gonna save this preset. So again, let's think about what we want to do every wave. So the idea again for wave 2 is take advantage of the big counterattacks, right? So what we want to do is Catherine, So that means stage 1, we really want to make sure we save the High Spirit. Maybe Nordak, you want to save the shield here. That means we don't use the shield up front. Mamook, maybe save all his skills for the boss stage. Um, Maybe we can try maybe turn 1 taunt and turn 2 we steal everything back if Niskarma decides to steal anything. Um, let's try to save the ultimate. So, I mean, we can, doesn't matter, I guess. But we do want to save the ultimate for the last wave so that we can try to kill something up front. Jack, we can do whatever. I think we're okay for the most part. Let's taunt, just taunt up, just in case we need that. And okay, so yeah, let's give stage 34 a try. I mean, here again, using all, don't, well, okay, Jack, like I said, if you check out my other video, I do say, at higher levels, damage reduction becomes key. You want to run, Mamook or French or any of these heroes. I have all three of them, but I kind of have a preference for Mamook because it's long uptime with the taunts and self-immortality and an extra little bit of heals. Um, Jack is absolutely key for damage reduction. So even at E1, it's important to bring a Jack for the damage reduction. Otherwise, the boss is going to hit way too hard very quickly. Okay, let's take a look. So again, the idea is, it's just standard, tank and spank, right? So um, a lot of um, a lot of shields, consolidation, gradually getting through the waves. Um, this is the one where we're gonna take advantage of the counterattack. So we got immortality up. So we are go we're going to just counterattack through relatively easily here. Okay, so we're done with the waves. And then now here on the boss stage. Okay, something that wasn't supposed to happen. Should have set it up so that counterattack gets stolen back. But see, this is important why we saved the ultimate. We just killed Niskarma straight up, so we don't have to deal with annoying steal. Now, of course, there are many ways of dealing with it. If you have a Marvel, you can use the prevent buff steal. You can use something like Mamook, and you can try to steal it back the following turn. So um, if you're tanky enough, you can try to bring out consolidation and counterattack on a second turn. So these are different ways to set up your presets so that you don't have to deal with the pain of Niskarma stealing your buffs. So here we go. 33, easily done. No Santa, using mostly obtainable heroes. Um, Again, when it comes to stage 31 to 35, it's all about just, making sure you have the key damage dealers. So for example, in Ifrit, it's poison, so you use Nita. You know, in Gwyneth, you can use whatever you want. So most people will use Hez there with a severe wound. And then Rum, you want to use Burn. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up this video here. We'll try this team again on 35. I don't know how it's gonna go, but let's just give a feel for, what do things look like on stage 35. And again, slow and steady wins the race. You don't have to do 3 DPS and trying to, speed run this thing. Running a damage reduction, running 2 shielders, you know, really, really solid setup and just, gradually beat the content, right? 100% win rate is way better than, even if you have like, a 10% fail rate, that 100% win rate is way better. So here we can see we're successfully getting through all the waves, taking advantage of the counterattacks here, killing everything when they AoE us, right? Very effective. All right, boss stage. Um, oh, everything got stolen. That's very annoying, but energy snatch, so everything's back. Good. Oh, okay, counterattack. Yep, so you can see Mamook stole everything back, right? So now it's really past the Niskarma part. It's really just about stabilizing at this point. You know, the boss has full attack down from Little Jack now. Just need to put on additional attack down. So look at the boss, right? With 80% damage down, and it's still hitting relatively hard, I think. Hold on, let's see how hard. Well, that was the immune. Pay attention to the numbers here. Okay, so maybe we're just gonna slow down just to get a sense of how hard is the boss hitting us. Okay, hold on. Okay, so 400k, right? So 400k with a 30 with a almost yeah with a 80% attack down, right? Did you see for a sec there? Without that attack down, right? We literally lost everybody. I don't think we're gonna be able to finish now because the boss still has 8 mil HP there. Um, but yeah, the damage from Rum is ridiculous, right? So you can see how hard the boss is hitting when the buffs are not there. So yeah, this is where the Santa Apple comes in super helpful because, you can survive that one extra hit instead of using Mamook there. So anyways, really close. Looks like you still need the Santa to get it through. But I hope you enjoy the content today, giving you a sense of, without some of the broken heroes, how far you can push in the various waves. Really, the idea is just straightforward tank and spank, right? Let's bring back our normal team. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully this was helpful for helping you push further and further in Rum, getting those speed sets because speed is king. Speed is going to help you win those PvP matchups. Take care.